to make sure that we are now meeting so that we can work together. We respect that there are institutions established under Board of Peace under strong American leadership, but we're very happy that both the US and the High Representative of the Board of Peace and people working with them are present so that we can now ensure that we can all contribute to both the reconstruction of Gaza, but also to ensure that that again is embedded in the reconstruction of Palestine and in the building of an integral Palestinian government. And I think that should be an outcome of this meeting. I am optimistic at least for coming out of this meeting with that clear message, but also with some practical organization around that, and that makes me hopeful.
Silvia, El País.
Thank you very much, Silvia Ayuso, El País newspaper. Two questions, one for Prime Minister. High Representative Kallas has said you've just met for the first time Mr. Mladinov. I was wondering if you could give us a bit review of your opinion. This is the first time the Palestinian representative meets with somebody who has so much to say or power to say something on the future of Palestine. And to High Representative Kallas, a follow-up on the proposition. Tomorrow, 3 countries, Spain, Slovenia and Ireland, have asked to put on again a discussion the possibility of suspending totally or partially the association agreement with Israel. There are new elements on the table, the death penalty that has had a huge condemnation among the European Union, the actions in southern Lebanon. So my question is, do you see any shift, any possibility, any opening on doing something on this? Partially would require only QMV. And also, I was wondering if you think this is a chance to put more pressure, or is it counterproductive, pushing more Israel? Because there's already been a quite strong reaction against Spain from the Israeli government. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. No, in my meeting with Mr. Mladinov, it's my first meeting with him in our new capacity, but I know him very well from many years ago. So we know each other very well. And, of course, I explained to him at least our government perspective on this, that the UN Security Council Resolution 2803 is important for us, but we want to see it implemented fully, meaning starting with the ceasefire, which still didn't get told very clearly, not yet at least. Every day there are incidents. But we also like to see things moving towards more humanitarian assistance. We'd like to see more stabilization on the ground, more security, not gangs. We would like to see more open crossings and borders so we can get things inside. We'd like to see reconstruction started. And we want to see education and health services and basic services restored as soon as possible. And eventually, as agreed in the Security Council resolution, then things have to be handed over to the Palestinian Authority and Gaza be reunited with the West Bank. So I told him we want to work together so that we together ensure that the resolution is implemented, but also the preparation would start as soon as possible to prepare for the handover of Gaza and its governance to the Palestinian Authority. I think the discussion was very fruitful. I think we see eye to eye on many things, and I think that we will be meeting again in the near future, many more meetings, so that we can organize our efforts to ensure that our people in Gaza get the help and the service they deserve, and also ensure that the two-state solution and implementation, as envisaged in many UN Security Council resolutions, but also in the New York Declaration, is also implemented fully.
Thank you on your question. So yes, member states have put this on the table, the suspension of the association agreement, which requires a unified position. At the same time, we already have the measures on the table, some of them that require qualified majority. So, first, I think it should be assessed whether it's possible to move with those if the member states have the wish to do so, to put pressure on Israel. But this is what we are going to discuss tomorrow, so I will not run ahead of the events. Thank you.
Representative, we could have colleagues from Palestine TV. Thank you. From Palestine TV, I have a question for High Representative, Madam. The European Union often praises the progress of the Palestinian reforms. However, it comes along with the ongoing financial pressure and the continued withholding of the clearance revenues of Israel by Israel. Does the EU actually have power to push Israel to release these funds, or will its role stay limited to providing emergency aids without tackling the main political cause behind this crisis? Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, European Union is pushing for reforms of the Palestinian Authority, and that's also true that they require funds. That's why we have been also supporting the Palestinian Authority, not only with financial means. We are the biggest supporters of the Palestinian Authority, but also, the know-how to do these reforms. When it comes to the revenues, we have been very clear with Israel that they have to release these revenues because they belong to Palestinians, and this is where the salaries and all come. So we have tried with different ways to raise this, but we can't force the Israelis. But we are continuing to do so. So every time we meet, we always raise this, and we always stress this also with our partners that have leverage over Israel. Thank you.
And we will take a final question. Rosie.
Thank you very much. It's Rosie Burchard for DW. First of all, to the High Representative and the Foreign Minister. Foreign Minister, you spoke with respect about Trump's so-called Board of Peace, but do you think it is a useful formation compared to the meetings you've been having today, or is it, as some fear, simply hollowing out and undermining the United Nations? Would either of you consider accepting an invitation to a future meeting if it came your way, especially given the criticism that were levelled at your Commissioner colleague when she went last time? And to the Prime Minister, over the last couple of years, we've seen several European countries moving to recognise Palestinian statehood. The situation on the ground continues to deteriorate. Are you in any way concerned that these moves of recognition are a sort of distraction from meaningful action toward a genuine two-state solution, which of course seems to many to be very far off? Thank you.
So, thank you. Let me again reiterate, Norway was invited to join the Board of Peace, and we said no, we cannot join the Board of Peace because of its connotations that would challenge the principal authority of the UN. That is the broader international dimension of the Board of Peace. But we also recognize at the same time that under the auspices of what is now called Board of Peace, we are seeing that work is going to take place in Gaza, connected to implementing the 20-point plan, and we have supported the 20-point plan. Prime Minister Støre and myself went to Sharm el-Sheikh when this was broadly endorsed by very many countries, and the US, together with the three guarantors, which is Qatar, Egypt and Turkey, are overseeing that these things is happening. So de facto, there will be institutions, international institutions set up to help recovery of Gaza under the auspices of Board of Peace. That's a reality. And Mr. Mladenow, who is very able and experienced in this, has taken on the role as the High Representative of Board of Peace. And under this, again, there is this new Palestinian committee that will not be a government, but that will help implementing and administrating this in a temporary setting. So in order to make sure that we're not working at cross purposes, but working together in the same direction, we have decided to invite them here, to have them involved in this in the program, and to make sure that we can support and they can also support the work that is being done both in Gaza and globally. This is about relating to the world as it is, and I think we should recognize that the reason there is a ceasefire in Gaza, I already said it's fragile, but at least there is a ceasefire, is because of strong insistence from the President of the US, and then this is what came out of that. So that's why I'm actually very happy that we're able to have all the people who are now committed to the rebuilding, both of Gaza but also of Palestine, together in the same room. And that's the first time we meet in this context.
Yes. On that, yes, exactly the same, that we are, working together, but we are not joining the Board of Peace, because the Board of Peace that was foreseen in the United Nations Security Council resolution was, more strict, was mentioning the role of Palestinians and also, the temporary nature of the Board of Peace. So that is what we were also supporting in the United Nations Security Council, our member states. But the charter of this organization is not mentioning all these points that are important for us, and that's why we can't join this Board of Peace. But like I said, working together in the same direction is very important, and to keep the Palestinians engaged. And like Espen was saying, to have the two meet here is actually very important, because for us the role of Palestinians in building up Palestinian state is the most important. It has to be Palestinian-led and Palestinian-owned.
And on the question of recognition, whether recognition is causing distraction, I don't think so. Recognition is a good thing. This is basically an overdue position to be taken. It's recognizing the right of the Palestinian people for self-determination, to live in their own country and dignity and freedom, independence and so on. It's the right thing to do. The problem is not recognition. The problem is the occupation. There's one country in the world that refused to abide by international law and continue to occupy other people's land for 70 years now. That is the problem. So now I would like to take the opportunity to thank all the countries who recognize Palestine, 160 of them so far, and the rest are actually already in a way recognize the Palestinian government, the Palestinian Authority. Probably they didn't make the final official announcement about recognizing Palestine, but many of them already practically do. So most of the countries in the world do recognize Palestine and Palestinian rights, and we appreciate this very much.
With thanks to our three principals, this brings our press point to an end. Have a lovely afternoon. This is over. Thank you. Thank you, Vitaly. Next time, tomorrow.